And from pregame to postgame, NBA TV is your home for around-the-clock playoffs, analysis, highlights, and commentary all postseason long. Coverage of the 2019 NBA playoffs lives on NBA TV. In their franchise history, the Toronto Raptors have been in 16 playoff series, and historically, Game 1 has been forgettable. They had lost 14 out of 16 series openers and were just 1-8 at home, including a loss in the Orlando series. As they began their 17th series Saturday night at home, they faced a much tougher challenge than the Magic presented in round 1. The Sixers came calling, but Phillies had issues of their own playing in Toronto, where they had dropped 13 in a row. Let's go to Scotiabank Arena in Toronto to watch Joel Embiid and Kawhi Leonard.
Those were the old Raptors. These are the new improved Raptors.
But those new Raptors lost to Orlando in Game 1.
Yeah, then they beat them 4 straight.
I know, I'm just talking about Game 1, pal.
They would have got swept. They would have got swept last year like they did.
How about Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam in the first quarter? 17 each.
Those boys, they put on a show. They put on a show, them two boys, and they had no answers for them.
Oh, take your time.
Wide open.
Yeah, man.
I think the size and the length is something that Philly has not seen.
There's Ben Simmons
on a consistent basis in the NBA. There aren't many teams that have that. They have.
They had a bad first half. He lit it up in the third quarter.
Not good. Or they have this.
Spin cycle. Jeez. Come on, man. Stop treating people like that.
55-46 the count there, and then watch Leonard here.
This has got to be a charge or something. There's got to be a charge or a block or something.
Bully ball right there.
I was worried about
that. Little fella.
61-52 at the half.
You were worried about the Raptors?
Yeah, because Drake is kind of like your guarantee.
Redick had 15 in the third quarter.
Yeah,
after scoreless in the first half.
Nice 40-piece on him.
Good block.
Give me that.
Let's go. Look up. This dunk is just, it looks regular until now. Heading near rim.
13-0 run for the Raps. Danny Green's seen a few postseason games, hasn't he?
He would have fouled if he was still in the Spurs.
Exactly right.
Shaq, excellent point. Kawhi Leonard, super three.
Would he have fouled if he was still with the Spurs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all day.
This is just like, I own you guys. When you have that type of confidence against a team, man, it's the greatest feeling in the world. You just like, ain't nothing they can do.
All night long, and gets the roll there. And Kawhi Leonard, career playoff high of 45, which matches his overall career high, regular season and postseason, as they win at 108-95. Siakam goes for 29 and 7.
12 for 15.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And Kawhi 16 for 23. He had 22 30-point games in the regular season. He's got 3 in the postseason so far. All those starters for Philadelphia scored in double figures, but all the Philly starters were outscored by Siakam and Kawhi Leonard, 74-71. Here's Nick Nurse.
I just like the force he's playing with at both ends, but especially when he's getting the ball. He's pushing it up the floor. He's punching gaps with force. He's determined to get to spaces. I don't know, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but that was pretty cool to watch tonight.
He had a spectacular night, and he hit some spectacular shots. He's a superstar. I mean, he's as good as there is in the NBA at generating his own shot and making tough shots. Sometimes you just have to tip your hat to him.
My focus is every game trying to win the ball game. And, you know, that's why we're playing this game. We're not playing so I could score 50 or get 40 points. We're all on this team and, you know, trying to say Raptors win at the end of the day.
Their 2 best players showed up. I didn't tonight. I got to do a better job, but I have a lot of respect for those guys, and they showed up.
We came out and needed to do better in the first game at Brooklyn. But in general, I wish you didn't need something like this to jump into a series. But we're not going home. We're not going away. We will dig in and come back better.
So again, the 1-2 punch, and just reinforcing the point that I made as we went to that sound, 74-71.
38.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Boy. Yeah, look at this.
They made the
Sixers starters 28 for 68 and 28 for 38.
That's crazy.
Leonard and Siakam.
They'd have to miss the next 30 shots to be even in field goals. That's crazy.
The thing I've been saying about Joel Embiid last couple of shows, came into this game 99 points in 97 minutes. But now that stat's off the board, having more points than minutes played. But there is one player in the playoffs who can still make that claim. More points than minutes played so far.
Dame Lillard?
No.
It's got to
Kevin Durant.
No, he's close.
Durant's
close. No. Isaiah Hartenstein of the Rockets. 4 points in 2 minutes.
I hate you, Ernie.
I'm just telling you.
That's what you
I knew.
I know, but I was just, when I was going to say that today, I said, I got to make sure he's the only guy. No, he's not the only guy. Isaiah Hartenstein, 4 points in 2 minutes.
See, that's just. I'm sorry, America.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
That's one of those old-style Nito stats of the night.
No, all you had to do was say Isaiah Hartenstein to Chuck and be like, who he played for. He would not have known he was with
got
the
a better chance of knowing Dr. Frankenstein.
Hartenstein, not
come on, man.
Frankenstein.
Why are you getting on that guy, man?
I'm not getting on that guy. He
I don't even know who that is.
Oh,
Who
man, I
played
know.
the Rockets?
For the Rockets, man. 108-95.
Show us a picture, y'all.
Clearly not.
Raptors
Memorize
take game
bench
1.
players, Ernie.
Got to research them all, Shaq. Got to research them all.
Give him a break.
Got to research my research.
Denver Nuggets are 24 minutes away for their first playoff series win since 2009 if they can hold off San Antonio. Look at the Joker.
Yeah.
47-34 as Nikola Jokic has 15 and 9 in the first half. American Express halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Kenny, Shaq, Charles. It would be hard to imagine a worse offensive half than the San Antonio Spurs just put together. 34 points, 22% shooting, 1 for 10 from 3. But it's only a 13-point game with 24
That
minutes
was one of the worst halves of basketball I've ever seen in a playoff game. I mean, other than Jokic and Rudy Gay.
Yeah, Rudy Gay saved him in the
No, but I'm saying, those are the only two guys to me, I'm playing scared. Like, everybody out there is terrified. They're terrified. They're terrified. I mean, that was one of the worst half of basketball, but Joker is single-handedly carrying the Nuggets, and Rudy Gay stepped up. But, man, I cannot – I said before the game, I thought the role players for the Nuggets would step up. They have not. It's been all Joker. And I said if the Spurs had a chance, their two stars had to be stars. And their two stars have been embarrassing, plain and simple.
The American Express teammates from the first half, obviously, the Joker is going to be on there. Big Honey got 15 points. Paul Millsap, who has the playoff experience on that team, has 8. So those two combining for 23 of Denver's 47. But Shaq, you said before the game, said, look, Aldridge, DeRozan, the Stars got to step up. These guys combined for 51 points in Game 6. They've got 12 combined in Game 7.
Yeah, when you're part of a 1-2 punch and you're playing on a road, you definitely have to step up. No questions asked. When you step up, the others will follow. These guys are now 3 for 18, in the words of Charles Barkley. Embarrassing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's good defense. I don't know if it's terrified, but I know it cannot happen in a Game 7. You got to make these shots.
That's a terrible shot,
better plays. And, the defense is, corralling you. They want to stop you, but you still got to step up. You want to be a great player? This is what great players do. They step up in Game 7s on the road. No excuses, no questions asked right there. Single coverage, you got to go up strong. 3 for 18 is not going to get it done. Rudy Gay has stepped up and carried. They are only down 13. Both teams didn't play great. But again, when you're part of a 1-2 punch on the road, Game 7, you got to come out and you got to dominate, and the others will follow.
Hey, go ahead, Ken. I got something to say when you finish.
Well, I'm going to go to the board, so.
But what's amazing to me, Shaq,
we only got 2.5 minutes, so get ready to go to the board.
I see what you're doing over there, Ernest.
I want to have a good seat to watch it.
Yeah, I see what you're doing over there, Ernest. I see what you're doing over there. I see what you're doing over there. I see what you're doing over there.
Shaq might have pulled something back then.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Y'all over
No,
here.
I didn't.
Y'all shooting
No,
the gun.
I didn't.
Y'all shot the gun. That was like
I'm not
a false
Chuck
start.
America.
That's a false start.
I'm not Chuck America.
False start. That's my line.
False start. That was a false start. Doesn't count, America.
Pew.
But in basketball, there's run starters, stoppers, and run makers. And right now, at least for Denver, they have people who can sustain the run or start the run. And Jokic has been fantastic, as we've seen all game. But then every now and then, you need someone to be able to say, okay, let's start the run. You don't have to be the one that started, make it, and make it happen. And Jamal Murray was that person. But for the San Antonio Spurs, this is the guy who has to be the run stopper. And all of a sudden, he's off and not taking quality shots. LaMarcus Aldridge getting down because on the other end, they got the run maker, the guy who can make the run and keep it going. And that's right here in Jokic. The Joker is just handling his business in the post. And yes, he's not false starting. He is doing it the correct way, Shaq.
You know what's interesting about Aldridge and DeRozan? They're veterans, Ernie.
Yeah.
They know better.
They're like, and there's one guy on the Nuggets who's been in the playoffs, that's Millsap. And those guys should be like, oh, we've been in the playoffs, we're veterans, we got a young team around us on the Spurs, and they're playing like they're just, I feel bad because they're both good players, but they go.
This is the aggression that you talked about the other night.
Yes, you got to be, like, they're too.
Overly aggressive.
Yeah, I'd rather, they're 3 for 18 in a game 7. Two veteran guys who made perennial all-star teams. That can't happen.
So the question is, will they step up or will they?
Well, the good thing about it, the Nuggets are scared too, other than the Joker.
Will they get more, will they get less, or will they stay the same?
Ernie, before we go, can I apologize to Kenny?
Sure.
Kenny's son isn't here, and when Kenny's son was little, I took Kenny's son from school without telling him, and I never told him I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, that's another story, man. He just.
It sounds like something.
I came to the school and they were like, "Oh, he went with Shaq." I'm like,
at this point,
y'all just gave my kids to Shaq.
It's like, what were we gonna say? I was like, his daughter and my son were in the same class.
Yeah, because but you guys had a relationship.
No, not really, not really, man. Not really,
not at all.
Really. And he brought him back with a haircut. Well, then took him and get a haircut.
Well, then this is disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
I apologize, Kenny. And KJ, my bad.
High school security.
And you think that apology is enough?
It's only 25 years.
KJ, how you doing, kid?
He still need a haircut, Shaq.
It's the most he's ever had in a half. 27 on 10 of 14 shooting.
Wow.
And it was a 14-point lead for the Raptors. It was cut to 1. It is up to 9 at the break. And we welcome you to the American Express Halftime Report. Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Chuck is here. Just before we get to the pictures, just give me your take on the first half.
Kawhi Leonard has so much confidence against his team. I was surprised Siakam had that much confidence, but it's clear to me that Kawhi Leonard he's just like, I'm better than anybody here, and there's nothing they can do. It's a really cool place to be as a player.
Leonard's got 27. Siakam's got 22 in the first half, Jet.
Wow. I think overall, if you look at their team, you know, this is the difference that Philadelphia can't play at the pace that they want to. They're not used to it.
Nobody coming.
Nobody coming.
Just got you thinking.
Okay. It's the difference between what they're accustomed to facing. So you have Tobias Harris out here and Danny Green on them. So normally when you come and you make this pick and roll here, you're able to make this pass and freeze it here. This is normally a jump shot or an opportunity for Jimmy Butler to rise over the defense. But when Siakam's here, as we roll it, you see the size and the length and doesn't allow him to get that shot off. Freeze it here. And you got size and length, and all of a sudden Marc Gasol, if you look at Boban, you say, man, Boban usually makes everyone look small, not Marc Gasol. So all of a sudden he comes off, you get back in place, and size and length doesn't let you get the shot off. Freeze it here. Yeah, Ennis, you think you got size and length on you again? The size and length of Kawhi Leonard, too much for him. Boban, you're not big. You're not big against Gasol. You just can't block it in. Let's get the steal. Let's make something happen. Ball's out of bounds. We got a turnover, 24-second shot clock. Great. But on the other side, there is no size and length against him. So now you have the ability to just rise over the defense. Most time, this would be difficult for most players. Freeze it here. But right here, Leonard says, no, too small. I'm good. Soon as Boban retreats, because he's got to retreat to the three-point shooter at some point, and I'm going to be able to get my shot off easily. Same thing here. Siakam says, nope, I don't need it. Nope, I'm good. I'm going to get into the position I want to, because why? Too little. These guys are not big enough, not tall enough, don't have the length to defend us, or we have the length and size to guard them. Tough series for Philly. This is going to be tough for Philly. This might, it don't look good.
61-52, the halftime score. Leonard and Siakam combining for 49.
Wow.
Of the team's 61 points. No bench points in the first half.
They didn't need them.
I know, I'm just looking at it. No bench points.
19 for 25.
You got that 1-2 punch.
They might not have missed.
Yeah.
Almost didn't miss.
10 out of 14 for Kawhi, 9 out of 11 for Siakam. Tell me about Philly. Tell me about Embiid.
Well, in this era, when people say we're going to play physical, that means one thing. We're going to make it tough for you to get to your spot. We all know Joel Embiid is an inside player. So you just have to get deep. You can't let a guy push you to your spot, because when you push you to your spot, he wants you to do this. We want you to shoot that jumper. And right here, same thing. That's not deep enough. You know, he has great size, great ability. I need you to get a little deeper. And, you know, Chuck knows this. When you play against a guy that's pushing, all you got to do is go quick. Right, Chuck? All you got to do is go quick. See, right here. Look, right here, get it, go quick. Boom, make a move, go quick, be decisive. Doesn't matter if 1, 2, or 3 guys are coming. And right here, you know, just be aggressive. You have that ability, but he's going to have a big game. I would like him to have the same numbers I'm looking at from Kawhi and Pascal, 27-22. Let me see, Embiid, 12 points, not good enough. Ben Simmons, 10 points, not good enough on the road. They're going to have to step it up in the second half if they want to steal one of these games.
Well, yeah, 10, 6, and 2 for Simmons, only 1 turnover in the first half for Ben Simmons.
To me, I said before, this is going to be Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler. They're going to have to make a dent in the game, because right now, Siakam and Leonard, they are mismatched for anybody. They have supreme confidence. But, man, Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris. Tobias got 12. He's playing well. But Jimmy Butler, and they might get, or they got to pick it up defensively. I mean, because these two guys, man, you can't let guys shoot 80% on you.
Oh, I think it's about 86.3%.
How about
90?
How about, speaking of making a dent, how about J.J. Redick not denting the scoreboard?
Oh, they got him on lockdown.
No, 0 on 0 for 4.
They got him on lockdown.
Yeah, this is what those Celtics did to them.
That's exactly what he's doing, Keith Pompey. That's exactly what he's doing.
Please do not try that at home. Back with more on the American Express halftime
I'll try
report.
it if you're going to watch me.
In just a second. I know you will,
Eric,
but you're not at home.
Watch machine. I'll do it.
Welcome to the American Express halftime report. American Express, the official card of the NBA.